The Silk Roads, a new history of the world, an in-depth exploration. The Silk Road, like a river spanning time, connects the civilizations of East and West. Its name evokes images of camel caravans and flowing silk, but the true history is far more complex and profound. Peter Frankopan, through archaeological discoveries in the Taklamakan Desert, reveals how this road linked cultures, beliefs, and daily life through oasis nodes. Chapter 1. The Contracted Lives of the Nia Oasis. On the edge of Xinjiang's Taklamakan Desert, the Nia site lies like a pearl buried in sand, telling stories from the 3rd to 4th centuries. This was the heart of the Krayrena kingdom, where archaeologists uncovered numerous wooden tablets and contracts documenting ordinary lives. Unlike the romantic vision of silk-laden caravans, Nia's trade focused on localized exchanges of grain and livestock. The merchant Avista's land lease agreement stands out. He traded 2 sheep for a year's use of farmland, with provisions for delayed repayment in case of poor harvests. This contract reveals not only economic activity, but also the precision of law and the flexibility of human arrangements. Another tablet records a dispute. The farmer Malhan, unable to deliver grain on time, was required to work off his debt, but mediation by local authorities led to a resolution. Such details highlight the order and justice of Nia's society. Nia's documents, mostly written in Kharoshthi script, coexist with Chinese characters, reflecting cultural fusion. Nia's Kharoshthi texts include poetry and stories, showcasing the residents' literary traditions. One tablet preserves a Kharoshthi poem describing the hardships of a caravan crossing the desert. Sandstorms obscure the sun, camels press on, merchants' hearts remain steadfast. This poem, penned by a local scholar named Vijaya, who also worked as a scribe for merchants, captures both emotion and the harsh realities of the Silk Road. Nia's trade also involved textile exchanges, with archaeological finds of woolen fabrics showing that residents excelled in weaving, their products reaching Central Asia. A female weaver named Pati supplied blankets to caravans, her contract stating, "Pati provides 20 blankets, priced at 10 taels of silver." These textiles, blending Indian and Persian patterns, were not just goods, but carriers of cultural exchange. Frankopan highlights Nia's contributions to literature and craftsmanship along the Silk Road. Buddhist monks copied scriptures here, merchants recorded debts, and illiterate residents repurposed discarded texts as show insoles, inadvertently preserving history. Nia's tablets also document the activities of foreign merchants, such as an Indian monk named Kasyapa. Kasyapa taught Buddhism in Nia and recorded a donation to a monastery. Kasyapa offers 10 bolts of cloth, praying for his family's blessings. These documents show that Nia was not just an economic hub, but a crossroads of religion and culture. Frankopan argues that Nia's discoveries challenged the notion of the Silk Road as a grand trade route, emphasizing the self-sufficiency and cultural diversity of oasis economies. Nia's finds also reveal the role of women in the economy. A contract shows a woman named Sarai managing her family's vineyard and negotiating prices with merchants. Her contract states, Sarai sells 50 caddies of raisins, earning 5 taels of silver. This highlights women's economic independence and the relatively open gender roles in oasis society. Through these details, Frankopan paints a vivid picture of Nia, not a distant trade post, but a vibrant community linking the cultural threads of East and West. Nia's discoveries also reveal religious diversity in the oasis. A tablet records a Zoroastrian priest named Zarathustra conducting a fire ritual in Nia, drawing local farmers and foreign merchants. His record states, the fire altar burned for 3 days, praying for a bountiful harvest, revered by all. This document shows that Zoroastrianism, popular among Sogdians, also influenced Nia's locals. Another of Zarathustra's texts notes his donation of wool to a Buddhist monastery in exchange for scripture copying. Such interfaith interactions underscore Nia's role as a cultural crossroads. Nia's irrigation system is also noteworthy. Archaeological traces of canals and tablet records reveal a sophisticated water management system sustaining agriculture. A contract documents the farmer Ahmad's agreement with officials. He maintained a canal section in exchange for a year's tax exemption. The contract states, Ahmad repairs 100 jang of canal exempt from tax for 1 year. This advanced irrigation supported Nia's agricultural economy and attracted caravans, boosting trade. Frankopan emphasizes that Nia's oasis economy was not isolated but a vital node in the Silk Road network. Chapter 2. Kucha's Buddhist Art and Language. Kucha, the heart of the ancient Kucha kingdom, is renowned for its cave paintings. These vibrant murals, depicting Buddhist stories, blend Indian, Persian, and Chinese styles. A rare monk's phrasebook, recording Sanskrit and Kucha language equivalents like how to request alms from donors, is particularly valuable. In the 7th century, the monk Fahui traveled from India to Kucha, copying scriptures and teaching Sanskrit. His manuscripts include Kucha language annotations, showing how Buddhist dissemination drove language learning. Fahui's diary notes, "The people of Kucha are eager to learn. I teach Sanskrit day and night." This reflects both the monk's dedication and Kucha's prosperity as a cultural center. Kucha's murals are not just art, but tools of religious propagation. One mural depicts the Buddha with disciples, incorporating Persian floral motifs, highlighting external influences. Frankopan notes that Kucha's Buddhist art symbolizes both faith and cultural fusion. Murals featuring merchants in Sogdian-style hats holding Chinese ledgers suggest the close ties between commerce and religion. These merchant images also reflect Kucha's thriving market. Archaeological ledgers record transactions between merchants and monasteries, such as purchases of spices and cloth. A Sogdian merchant named Sakya sold Indian spices in Kucha's market, his ledger stating, "Sold 10 caddies of spices, earning 8 taels of silver." These exchanges fueled both the economy and cultural interactions. Kucha's Buddhist monasteries also organized festivals, drawing caravan participation. A document records the Yulambana festival, co-organized by monks and merchants to celebrate Buddhism's spread. The monk Dharma led the ceremony, with merchants donating supplies, the record stating, "Merchants offered 100 bolts of cloth, enhancing the festival's grandeur." These events strengthened ties between religion and trade, fostering social cohesion in Kucha. A monk named Dharma oversaw the construction of a stupa in Kucha, his inscription reading, "This stupa prays for safe journeys for merchants." This shows monasteries served as sanctuaries for caravans. Kucha's documents also reveal the complexity of language learning. A handbook records how monks translated Sanskrit scriptures into Kucha's language, such as rendering Bodhi as awakening. This translation work localized Buddhism and spread linguistic knowledge. Frankopan shows how the Silk Road was not just a conduit for goods, but a bridge for ideas. Buddhism, originating in India, took root in Kucha, blending with local beliefs to form a unique Kucha Buddhist art. Kucha's Buddhist spread also facilitated musical and dance exchanges. Murals depict dancers with lutes performing during Buddhist rituals, with instruments blending Indian and Central Asian styles. A musician named Kama taught Sanskrit songs in Kucha, his notes stating, "Sanskrit melodies uplift, aiding meditators' focus." These songs, performed at caravan markets, attracted both foreign merchants and locals. Kama's surviving music fragments show melodies blending Kucha's local tunes, creating a distinctive style. Kucha's documents also reveal an educational system. A record shows Buddhist monasteries running schools to teach children literacy and arithmetic. A monk named Vima taught merchant sons, his lesson plan stating, "Taught 10 boys Sanskrit and arithmetic." This education preserved culture and supported trade by training skilled individuals. Through these details, Frankopan portrays Kucha's vibrancy as a cultural hub, emphasizing its role in spreading ideas along the Silk Road. Chapter 3. Turfan's Sogdian Merchants and Tang Law. Turfan, a midpoint on the Silk Road, was a hub for Sogdian merchants and Tang dynasty culture. Archaeological tombs and documents reveal the active role of Sogdians. The merchant Bahram's tombstone bears Zoroastrian symbols alongside Tang legal documents detailing caravan taxes. He ran a shop in Turfan, trading raisins, spices, and paper, but was recorded for tax evasion. Bahram, a Sogdian, owes 10 bolts of cloth, due within a month. This reflects both the strictness of taxation and Tang governance of diverse groups. Turfan's documents include Tang laws, such as regulations on marriage and inheritance. A document records the marriage of a Sogdian woman, Anita, to a Han Chinese merchant, stipulating joint property management. Anita's diary describes learning Chinese to integrate into the Tang community. I study Chinese, converse with neighbors, and adopt their customs. This highlights Sogdian women's efforts at cultural adaptation and Turfan's inclusivity. Turfan's trade also involved horse transactions, with Sogdian merchants buying horses from Turks for caravan transport. A merchant named Kamel's contract states, purchased 10 horses, priced at 50 taels of silver. These horses were not just transport, but symbols of wealth and status. Frankopan emphasizes Turfan's economic diversity. This shows Turfan's legal system accommodated foreign groups, fostering cultural integration. Frankopan stresses that Turfan's discoveries prove the Silk Road's trade relied on Chinese military protection. Tang garrisons in Turfan ensured caravan safety. A Tang officer named Li Jing escorted caravans, his log stating, escorted a 100-person caravan with spices and paper to Dunhuang. This reveals a military commerce partnership. Turfan's tomb murals are also significant, depicting Sogdian merchants at Zoroastrian fire altars beside Tang-style buildings, showing cultural fusion. Frankopan illustrates Turfan as not just a trade hub, but a microcosm of cultural diversity. Paper spread was crucial. Chinese invented paper passed through Turfan to Central Asia, eventually shaping Europe's writing culture. Turfan's tombs reveal Sogdian burial customs. One tomb contained Zoroastrian-style figurines symbolizing the soul's ascent, alongside paper offerings. These paper texts, written in Sogdian, prayed for the deceased's peace in paradise. A Sogdian merchant named Sazan left a will, my estate to my children, 100 rolls of paper to the monastery. This shows both religious beliefs and paper's ritual importance. Turfan's documents also detail caravan organization. A record shows caravans of Sogdians, Han Chinese, and Turks transporting goods together. A Turkic guide named Turkin led caravans through the Gobi, his log stating, 50-person caravan with paper and spices crossed 3 perilous passes. This highlights multi-ethnic cooperation and Tang military protection. Frankopan notes that Turfan's findings reveal how the Silk Road's trade network relied on diverse collaboration, with paper spread as an unintended legacy. A document records a paper transaction. Merchants sold 100 rolls of paper, earning 20 taels of silver. This underscores paper's value and Turfan's role in technological diffusion. Chapter 4. Samarkand's Sogdian Trade Network. Samarkand, in modern Uzbekistan, was the Sogdian homeland and a Silk Road commercial hub. Archaeological ancient letters document Sogdian merchants' transnational trade. The merchant Nanai wrote to his wife in Dunhuang, I brought spices to Chang'an, faced bandits, but was saved by Tang escorts. Stay well. This letter reveals trade's dangers and Sogdian women's independence. Nanai's wife, Sophia, managed the family business, her ledger stating, sold 30 caddies of raisins, but 5 bolts of silk. This shows women's significant roles in Sogdian society. Samarkand's tomb murals depict Zoroastrian rituals blending Greek, Persian, and Chinese elements. One mural shows Sogdian merchants offering sacrifices at a fire altar beside Han-style dragon motifs, highlighting cultural diversity. Frankopan argues that Sogdians were not mere intermediaries, but cultural creators on the Silk Road. Their language, beliefs, and art deeply influenced regions along the route. Sogdian became a lingua franca in Central Asia, used in contracts like, merchant Banu traded spices for 10 taels of silver, both parties swore to the deal. This reflects Sogdian commercial acumen. Samarkand's documents include religious texts, such as Zoroastrian hymns. Written in Sogdian, these texts blend Buddhist and Christian elements, showing religious inclusivity. A Sogdian monk named Mir copied a Zoroastrian scripture with Buddhist verses, reflecting faith integration. Frankopan reveals Samarkand as a cultural hub connecting Eastern and Western ideas. Samarkand's commerce involved currency circulation. Archaeological silver coins bear Sogdian script and Persian designs, showing monetary internationalization. A merchant named Farhad specialized in coin exchange, his ledger stating, "Exchanged 100 silver coins for 10 bolts of silk." These coins, as both trade tools and cultural symbols, facilitated commerce. Samarkand's religious tolerance is evident in Manichaeism's spread. A document records the Manichaean monk Ahura preaching light and darkness coexist. Believers find salvation. Ahura's sermons drew Sogdian merchants and locals, forming a small congregation. Frankopan emphasizes Samarkand as a commercial and religious testing ground, vital to the Silk Road's prosperity. Samarkand's architectural remains are also significant. Excavated shop ruins feature Persian-style arches with Han floral decorations. An architect named Bakhtiar designed a shop, his inscription reading, "This shop, a rest for merchants, blends East and West beauty." These structures were both functional and symbolic of cultural fusion. Chapter 5, Chang'an's International Splendor. Chang'an, the Tang capital, was the Silk Road's eastern terminus and a cosmopolitan metropolis. Archaeological finds of Sogdian tombs, Christian churches, and Zoroastrian temples showcase the city's diversity. The merchant Anga ran a shop in Chang'an, selling glassware and spices. His epitaph reads, "Anga, foreigner, lived in Chang'an for 30 years, embracing Tang customs." This reflects both foreign integration and Tang openness. Anga's shop records show he supplied Persian glass cups to the palace, earning a reward, granted 100 taels of silver for his tribute. Chang'an's documents include records of Sogdian Han marriages. One document details the marriage of a Sogdian woman, Maria, to a Han official, with property inherited by their children. This shows deep cultural integration. Frankopan notes that Chang'an's internationalization stemmed from Tang policies, like the mutual market system allowing free trade for foreign merchants. An official named Zhang Heng managed Chang'an's foreign market, his log stating, 100 foreign merchants trade spices and silk daily. The market thrives. This highlights Chang'an's commercial vitality. Chang'an's religious sites are striking. A Nestorian Christian church inscription records Christianity's spread, with a missionary named Alapan building a church attracting both foreigners and Han. His inscription reads, "Nestorianism came from Persia, aiming to save all." This shows Chang'an as a stage for religious convergence. Frankopan portrays Chang'an as a Silk Road cultural melting pot, where Buddhism, Zoroastrianism, and Christianity coexisted, shaping Tang prosperity. Chang'an's internationalization extended to culinary exchange. Sogdian tombs contain Persian-style wine jugs, indicating foreign dietary habits. A Sogdian chef named Pavel ran a tavern in Chang'an, serving wine and roasted lamb. His menu states, 1 jug of wine, 5 taels of silver, paired with flatbread. This culinary fusion attracted Tang nobles and foreign merchants, fostering social bonds. Chang'an's market also traded exotic animals. A document records the merchant Casper bringing a lion from Persia to the Tang emperor, earning a rank, offered a lion to the emperor, granted 5th rank office. This showcases Chang'an's wealth and the Silk Road's diverse goods. Artistic exchange was also remarkable. Sogdian craftsmen in Chang'an made gilded vessels blending Persian floral patterns and Han dragon motifs. A craftsman named Arda had his work collected by the imperial court, his inscription reading, "This vessel, offered to the emperor, wishes for national prosperity." Frankopan paints Chang'an as the vibrant endpoint of the Silk Road, central to cultural fusion. Chapter 6, Dunhuang's Documentary Treasury. Dunhuang's Mogao caves are famous for murals, but the library caves texts in Chinese, Tibetan, Sanskrit, and Hebrew are even more precious. In the 9th century, a Jewish merchant named Isaac ran a shop in Dunhuang, selling Persian carpets, his ledger stating, "Sold 3 carpets, earned 10 taels of silver." This ledger reflects both commerce and the interplay of religion and trade. Isaac's shop, near a Buddhist monastery, donated carpets for priority in scripture copying. This shows close ties between merchants and religious institutions. Dunhuang's texts include monk-copied Buddhist scriptures, merchant contracts, and tax records. A Sanskrit scripture, copied by the monk Faxian, notes, "This sutra, brought from India, translated into Chinese, aims to save all beings." Faxian's work involved multilingual translation, collaborating with Tibetan monks to render Sanskrit into Tibetan. Tibetan monks aided translation, blending Sanskrit and Tibetan. This fostered Buddhist spread and ethnic exchange in Dunhuang. Dunhuang's texts also include caravan travel guides. A handbook details routes through the Gobi, noting water sources and stations. Isaac's guide states, 3 days in the Gobi, find a well, prepare provisions. These guides ensured safe trade. Frankopan emphasizes Dunhuang's logistical and cultural roles on the Silk Road. This scripture is both a religious text and a testament to cultural diffusion. Frankopan stresses that Dunhuang's finds prove the Silk Road was a network for knowledge, not just goods. Paper's invention was key. Chinese paper spread through Dunhuang to Central Asia, transforming Europe's writing culture. A document records a paper transaction. Merchant sold 100 rolls of paper, earned 20 taels of silver. This shows paper's economic value. Dunhuang's texts reveal a multilingual environment. A Hebrew prayer text shows active Jewish merchants using Hebrew for rituals while trading in Chinese. This multilingualism underscores Dunhuang's role as a cultural crossroads. Frankopan paints Dunhuang's diverse identity, emphasizing its central Silk Road role. Dunhuang's documents also detail caravan logistics. A record shows officials providing grain for caravans, with merchants paying for supplies. A Jewish merchant named Jacob bought grain and horses in Dunhuang, his ledger stating, purchased 50 caddies of grain, 2 horses, 15 taels of silver. This support ensured long-distance caravan travel. Dunhuang's Buddhist monasteries also served financial roles, offering loans to merchants. A monk named Zuanming managed monastery finances, his record stating, lent 100 taels of silver to a merchant, due in 1 year. This financial service boosted trade and showed monasteries' diverse roles. Dunhuang's art trade is noteworthy. A contract records the merchant Samuel buying a Buddhist mural for transport to Central Asia. 1 mural, 30 taels of silver. These artworks were both religious symbols and trade goods. Frankopan emphasizes Dunhuang as a cultural and economic hub, its documents capturing the fusion of diverse civilizations. Epilogue, the grassland route and modern insights. During the Mongol era, the Silk Road extended to the grasslands, as recorded by traveler John of Plano Carpini. He wrote, "From Karakoram to Samarkand, caravans flowed endlessly, carrying furs and paper." The Mongol postal system ensured caravan efficiency. A Uyghur monk named Rabban Sama traveled with caravans, his diary stating, "Stations change horses daily, ensuring merchants' ease." This shows the organized nature of the Mongol-era Silk Road. Through archaeology and texts, Frankopan reveals the Silk Road's true nature, not a fixed route, but a network sustained by oases, merchants, and armies. The spread of paper, religion, and art had a deeper impact than silk trade. The Mongol-era Silk Road also facilitated medical knowledge exchange. Rabban Sama's diary notes learning Mongolian herbal remedies in Karakoram, bringing them to Central Asia. Mongol healers use herbs for wounds. Highly effective. This exchange benefited caravans and influenced Central Asian medical practices. The Mongol postal system's efficiency extended to information transfer. A document records official letters sent from Karakoram to Samarkand in 10 days. The courier Timur wrote, riding 100 li daily, changing horses tirelessly. This efficient communication unified Mongol commerce and politics. The Mongol-era Silk Road also spread astronomical knowledge. A Sogdian scholar named Acclaim taught astrology in the Mongol court, his work stating, "Star-gazing guides caravan routes, avoiding storms." This knowledge reached Europe via caravans, influencing medieval astronomy. Frankopan highlights the Mongol-era Silk Road's global impact on technology and culture. The Silk Road's legacy includes linguistic evolution. During the Mongol era, Turkic and Mongolian became caravan lingua francas, aiding interethnic communication. A Mongol merchant named Batu wrote, "I learned Turkic, trading seamlessly with Sogdians." This linguistic fusion facilitated trade and laid foundations for modern multilingual exchange. 13th century paper production spread through Central Asia to Europe, fueling the Renaissance's knowledge dissemination. A document records a paper transaction, 100 rolls of paper sold to Baghdad, earning 10 gold pieces. This highlights the economic value of technological spread. The Silk Road's history offers lessons for modern globalization. Today's trade networks and cultural exchanges echo ancient traditions. Frankopan's research reminds us that civilization's fusion is not instantaneous but forged through countless efforts: merchants, monks, soldiers in deserts and grasslands. The Silk Road's legacy is not just material exchange, but the resonance of ideas and cultures.